travel isn't just about destinations. It's about the people you meet, the cultures you immerse yourself in, the stories you carry home. I'm Relebogile Mabocha, and on my travel feature, I take you on a journey beyond the guidebook. Each week, I connect with fellow travelers, insiders, and storytellers to bring you the heart of every place. Whether it's a hidden gem right here in South Africa or a dream destination abroad. Join me as we travel through conversations, memories, and inspiration. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Hanging out with Clement
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
And on our Hanging Out feature today, we are hanging out with Siboniso Gaxa. As I said to you earlier, he is a retired soccer player. He's an aspiring lawyer as well, something we'll get into. And we're going to get to know him better this hour. If you want to say something to him, if you've got a question for him, you want to celebrate him, you're welcome to join this conversation. You can call on 011-883-0702 or send us a WhatsApp voice note on 072-702-1702. Siboniso, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you doing?
I'm good. You're so calm. I like that. Like I'm like crazy and you calm me down. Are you well?
No, always well.
Thank you for coming through. When you walked in, I was like, you do look like an aspiring lawyer. Like how you're dressed. And I wonder how you have you always been like a formal person in terms of your dress code? And when you were a soccer player, how did you navigate that if you've always liked looking formal?
No, not really.
Not really.
I think, when I was young, I was like any other township boy.
Yeah.
So this is now the profession that requires you to dress in a certain way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll talk about how you've made that transition because I really find your story so fascinating. But let's go back to the beginning. Have you always wanted to be a soccer player? And when at what point did you think, I'm actually good at this? Or your family thought, he's actually good at this. Maybe we need to start thinking about him playing professionally.
I think football in general, when you are born in a township, all boys play football on the street, So, I grew up like that. And then I was fortunate enough that there were a number of clubs, in Guamashu that you can go and play for. So I took that opportunity. And then obviously, fast forward, I realized that when we played against other clubs, around the township or in the Durban region, I then, decided, okay, this I can take it seriously. Mm-hmm. And lucky enough, and things just went well for me.
Yeah. And did you have a difficult chat with the elders at home when, because obviously, like especially in black households, they want us to be teachers, lawyers. Many of us are maybe the first or second generation to even go to school. So when you say, I'm just going to play soccer, that's like, really?
To your surprise, it's that no one knew that I was like playing football. They will only find out when I get home. I'm like, no, I'm from training.
Yeah.
And sadly, no one really, I never had any supporting structure within the family. So it was always about me and the friends, just pursuing our football dreams and to become professional footballers. So until I became a professional football player, this is when my family realized that, this guy...
He's good.
Yeah, that is a professional. How did he make it? Not even one person has ever bought me soccer boots.
Oh my goodness. So who supported you then? Because I get the point about friends, but did you have like a mentor? Was there a coach that looked after you?
I think mostly with coaches,
That's amazing,
coaches
man.
from the township that really love football.
Yeah.
So those were the people that pushed us and pushed us to win matches. And then, lucky enough, some of us had other opportunities somewhere else to pursue this thing seriously.
Yeah. You were nicknamed Pa from...
That's another mistake. That's not my nickname.
You were not?
That's my name. That's my other name.
So it's actually your real name?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it is.
So what does that mean?
You figure it out. You find that yourself. Growing up, but it's a name that I... ended up putting it on my ID when I realized that, okay, now I'm known as Pa. But this is a name that I was given at an early age. So I had this leadership skills, if I should say, or people saw me as someone that has some leadership skills within him, you know. So they call me Pa. So Pa means, it comes from Afrikaans, which is dad, father. Yeah.
Dad, father. That's fascinating. And you decided to put it on your ID.
Because I see myself as Pa.
Yeah.
I've always seen myself as Pa.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's fascinating. I want to put, because some listeners call me Madimecha.
Madimecha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I want to put it on my ID. So I'm going to start the process of putting that on my ID, actually. Because I really love the name. I don't know how many people I meet out there who don't come to me and say Clement, and they say, hey, Madimecha.
Sure.
So I'm just going to officialize it. Okay, we're going to get to know you this hour. We still have a lot to talk about, but we also want to play some of your favorite songs. And I know Lebo Mathosa, Free, is one of your songs.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Why is it so special to you?
I mean, like I said, I grew up in a community, especially the township of Kwamashu, where elders were our parents, regardless if they are your biological parents or not. So, and I was lucky enough that I was accepted by any neighbor that I go to, because I used to work as well while I was like at an early age in townships. I mean, in tech shops and yeah. So I was trying, like, I wanted to survive, man. Like I said earlier, there was no supporting structure at home, so I went out to find ways to survive. So I think Kwaito music for me was also one of my, should I say, where I find peace.
Yeah.
Where my spiritual being has been invoked, you know, through the words, through the music itself, through, because I used to dance as well as a child.
Dance?
Yeah.
Dance to what?
Yeah, I used to, in a group.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you a good dancer?
Of course.
Okay.
I'm African, my guy.
I'm African. Some people claim I can't dance.
Okay, they claim, you see.
They claim, but I think I can. Okay, so what was the circumstance like at home? Because, I mean, for you to go out, I mean, how old were you when you started working to survive?
Maybe like 6, 7, 8.
Was it for your own survival? Was it trying to take care of back at home as well?
So, I mean, my story is quite different. So, I mean, my mom left me early at when I was really young. I think I was like 6. And she moved out of my granny's house. So I stayed with my granny. I stayed behind.
Yeah.
And my granny was a domestic worker. So granny used to go and work, and sometimes she wouldn't come back home. So then I would be left alone at that early age, early stages of my life. So I then learned how to survive at that age.
Wow.
So I started working in my tech shop, and then I started, going to neighbors' houses. Sometimes I would sleep there, and just to try and find ways how to survive.
Sure.
So it was a bit challenging, but I was a child, so it was difficult to understand these things.
Well, you're a bar from a very young age. Yeah, but man, you've really done well. I mean, for someone with a background like that to be at a point where you've managed with no support at all to be a successful professional football player, and for you to have gone to study further at the point that you are, I hope you're really proud of yourself. I hope you know that you've done really well.
It's difficult for me to judge or to say, because I don't feel like yeah, you're right, I should be proud of myself. But I know that there's a lot that I still want to do. So I'm not even halfway where I want to be in life.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people that really sacrificed their lives to make sure that I survive.
Yeah.
So I think for me, I always question, why am I here? Then I figure that I'm here to serve people, because they did, played a significant role to make sure that I survive and I'm the person who I am today.
Oh, man, that's amazing. That's amazing. All right, here's Lebo Mathosa, one of Pa's favorite songs.
Bonjour, Tamwa. Morning to my fellow listeners, your guests, and your team, Clement. Well, I started to pay close attention to Pa when they were still training at Technikon Pretoria, now known as TUT, when he was still playing for Supersport. And yeah, that was the time. Yeah, I used to love that team. I even went to buy a T-shirt and printed number 6, Gaxa at the back. They used to play suk football. He will tell you what suk football is. I would like to know from Pa, what was his preferred or his best position, because of he played center back, where he made headlines by marking the most dangerous or lethal striker in Besuma out of the game in Durban. I'll never forget. I think that was one of his best games ever. And then he was switched to right back, which he excelled. He really excelled. I'll listen on the radio, live and direct.
That's a serious fan there, hey? Okay, so suk football, and what was your preferred position?
I mean, thanks for the call and the great words. I mean, from the guy. Yeah, he's right, man. Supersport, we played, I mean, good football. We had a good bunch of great players there, and we had the best coaches, which under Peter Musiman and the late Thomas Matichake. So, I mean, we were great. Stan Matthews at the time was the CEO of the club. We were unbelievable. I've always loved being a centre back. I think also to be in the spotlight in South African football professionally was because of being a centre back. But, I mean, I got the advice from Peter, especially getting closer to the World Cup, and he realized that chances of me being in the World Cup, being part of the World Cup, I mean, team was going to be challenging if I'm a centre back, because we had great centre backs at the time. So it was like, okay, you have to convert into a full back, because there are chances of you being selected on that position, Then the centre back was a bit difficult, as well as playing international football. It's very challenging when you are a bit smaller and playing against big guys. So he's the one really who convinced me otherwise. So I decided to then go to the right hand side.
Right. It's 25 minutes after 10 o'clock.
Travel isn't just about destinations. It's about the people you meet, the cultures you immerse yourself in, the stories you carry home. I'm Relebogile Mabotja, and on my travel feature, I take you on a journey beyond the guidebook. Each week, I connect with fellow travelers, insiders, and storytellers to bring you the heart of every place. Whether it's a hidden gem right here in South Africa or a dream destination abroad. Join me as we travel through conversations, memories, and inspiration. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Hanging out with Clement
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
29 minutes after 10 o'clock.
Hi, Clement. One thing I remember about Siboniso Gaxa was that at the peak of Collins Mbesuma's career, who was one of the top strikers that we had in the country, imported from Zambia, he was asked who is the best defender that he's ever faced. And at his peak, he said it was Siboniso Gaxa, when we all thought it was Chabalala from Pirates, who was also very tough and a no-nonsense defender. But Siboniso came out tops, even though he was not aggressive in his attack. He was just brilliant. I remember that guy very well, and all the best to him. This is D from St.
Hi, good morning. Siboniso Gaxa is an example to many future and past soccer players. I still remember when he was still new at Supersport, he was asked and he said, Kulusbia taught him how to save money, even helped him to build, to make a plan to build a house for his family. So the boy's real discipline. It was even before he went to school, seriously. So I think soccer and other sports players should just look at this boy up and see why he did this. It's one thing, discipline. Good boy. Sissy, yes, Soweto.
Hanging out with Clement.
On 702.
Let's walk the talk.
10:33. We are hanging out with Siboniso Gaxa, a retired soccer player, on our Hanging Out feature this morning. And I'm taking your calls. I'll continue to take those voice notes as well on 0727021702. I'll come to them in a moment. Siboniso, you have played for several top clubs. I mean, locally, abroad, as well. What would you say what was the highlight of your career?
Yeah.
What do you consider the most fulfilling chapter of your career? And I know it's an unfair question.
No, it is. It is indeed. I mean, all clubs were brilliant. All clubs were brilliant. And most probably maybe the last one wasn't that great. But I mean, everyone else.
Can we tell them what the last one was?
That was Ajax.
Ajax, okay.
Yeah.
But Kaiser Chiefs, after Kaiser Chiefs, it was Wits, Bidvest, and then Ajax.
Ajax, yeah. I think all clubs were brilliant. I think SuperSport gave me an opportunity, and they became for me that was a family to me. And leaving them, it was the hardest decision that I had to make. And joining Mamelodi Sundowns, oh man, the president at that time, President Petrus Motsepe, was unbelievable. I think this is at his early stages of what he wanted to do. What was his ambition? What was his goal? And now we can see.
You can see.
Yeah. But I was part of the players, or the players that were involved at the beginning. At the early stages, it was unbelievable. But I mean, every club that I've played for, but Chiefs. But Chiefs, it's something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you play for Chiefs, you remain Chiefs for the rest of your life.
Are you still a Chiefs supporter?
I watch Kaizer Chiefs matches. I want them to do well. They're a big brand. They're a big club. And I wish
to be recovering. Sort of.
They won the cup, but I mean, it's good for them. At the same time, they're a big club, man. You can't just disregard such history.
What do you think is wrong there? Because I'm struggling to figure out.
I think it's the transition in the managerial space, and now it's starting to shape who's going where, who's what, who's and these things sometimes takes time when a certain individual start a club and then he maintained the club for years, over 50 years, and then a new member must then take that position. It's not an easy transition, but I think Junior has shown his credibility, and I think that he has learned from his past mistakes, because he has made mistakes, but I think he has learned from those mistakes. And the victory of the Nedbank Cup, it's just to show that he's moving now the right direction.
Yeah.
I just heard that they're going to Holland for pre-season. That's good.
That's great. Do you have a team that you support though?
In South Africa? No, I support. I follow all the clubs. When I see something good, I speak about it. I mean, in Durban now we've got 4 clubs. I mean, in KZN we've got 4 clubs in the Premiership. That's amazing.
That's incredible. When you went to Belgium, was it difficult? Was it lonely? And how long were you there for?
Okay, I'll start with the last question. I was there for 2 years. Obviously there were challenges which I won't mention them, but there were a few challenges. But I think another thing is that I went late. I was 26 when I went overseas. But I'm not using it as an excuse to only spend 2 years. It was a great experience. I learned a lot, and it's one of the things that actually I think I needed that to understand where I'm going with my life in general. Because now I've got relations with some of these guys that side, and I'm hoping that I'm going to expand because there are a few things that I want to do. But Belgium was great. There's another city called Brussels. When you go to Brussels, it feels like it's Congo. You know, there are a lot of African people. So like, I mean, Belgium, it's amazing to be in Belgium. I stayed in the Flemish side of, you know, of people that speak Flemish. On the other side, they speak French, and they don't get along in one country. You know, when I was there was a point when there was no government.
Jeez,
because there was internal issues within the government. So it was amazing. But I mean, I was more on the side of the French people because, you know, French.
Did you learn any French?
Nah, maybe bonjour, it ends there.
Okay. You were part of, obviously, like the squad during the historic 2010 FIFA World Cup on home soil. What did it mean? I mean, as fans, watching that was quite historic for us, but I'm sure there was so much pressure on you guys as players as well. And I just wonder how you guys deal with that, because I would just faint knowing that there are millions of people watching whose hopes, literally, they are relying on us to perform here. How was you being part of that experience? And what did it mean to also wear that Bafana jersey?
No, I mean, it was unbelievable. It was being selected. That's a starting point. Being part of that club, I mean, part of the team, for me was one of my highest achievements, you know, in life. And also playing in an African soil, and for me that was great. Playing in South Africa, it was amazing. The support, and obviously there were doubts, you know, obviously from the European side about an African country hosting such an event. But you know, we put it all together, and it was great. It was amazing. It was disappointing at the same time for the team not going through to the second round. You know, to fall short because of goal difference. But just being in the team was one of the most, it was amazing, man. You know, sometimes it's difficult to explain these things because it's just the feeling. You know, you're dealing with the feeling, you're dealing with your inner part.
Yeah.
So to explain it in words, you know, to make this, it's just difficult. But it was one of the most amazing experiences that I can ever, I mean, I don't know if I can ever achieve something closer to that.
Yeah.
Because for me, that was one of the biggest event ever, you know, that I've been part of. So it was amazing.
Yeah. It's 20 minutes before 11 o'clock.
Travel isn't just about destinations. It's about the people you meet, the cultures you immerse yourself in, the stories you carry home. I'm Relebogile Mabotja, and on my travel feature, I take you on a journey beyond the guidebook. Each week, I connect with fellow travelers, insiders, and storytellers to bring you the heart of every place, whether it's a hidden gem right here in South Africa or a dream destination abroad. Join me as we travel through conversations, memories, and inspiration. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
We'll come back with your calls and WhatsApps.
Hanging out with Clement
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
17 minutes before 11 o'clock.
Good morning, Clement. Good morning to Siboniso Gaxa. Goodness, I always loved him. I remember when I was playing for Sundowns, I was still in primary school, I was in the village, and we would watch him on TV. And then we even named one of the boys from a village who was playing for our local team there for Young Chiefs, Siboniso Gaxa, because he was defending. His defense was unmatched. Thank you so much to him for offering his talent and for offering himself to us as Africans. And I can't wait to hear what he's about to do with the law. So fascinating. Thank you.
Hey, Clement. I think finally it makes sense why the Siboniso Gaxa. Because I always thought it's pa, not pa. You know, pa isn't something best. But because, you know football's nicknames, you don't necessarily follow them up as to where does it come from and all that. So I thought it's, Siboniso Gaxa. Kanti is pa. No, it makes sense. What a football player. Appreciate him a lot and the contribution he made in a soccer fraternity in our country. All the best. Tawang here. Bye.
Thank you so much for the WhatsApp voice notes. So, Kabelo Mabalane, is that one of your favorite artists?
Yeah, he's always been, man.
Yeah.
He's great. You know, when he used to sing quite,
yeah,
no, he was unbelievable. I mean, this man, I mean, a number of them, but he used to invoke something in me. And I started believing in myself. And these are the small things, small details that changes someone's ideas or inspirations and ambitions. And I mean, I'm a child of Kwaito, and I was raised by Kwaito from a distance, from the radio. And these people changed my life because Mabati Kuzolunga, I knew Kuzolunga.
You believe them? Yeah. Well, here's Kabelo Mabalani. Tubula, tubula, tubula.
Morning, Clement. You've got quite a well-cool guy there. I've watched these games quite a lot. He was quite a good defender, and I like it. But I think what we should gain from him is his experience in terms of how he managed this transition from football to being a normal person, a life after football. And I think he should use that experience and go around in clubs, mentor all these people. And that would be a great business idea for him also. He goes and coaches them how people to prepare the aftermath of football. Ivan Rudiport.
Yeah, thank you, Ivan. I'll get him to respond to that after the break. It's 10 minutes before 11.
Travel isn't just about destinations. It's about the people you meet, the cultures you immerse yourself in, the stories you carry home. I'm Relebogile Mabotja, and on my travel feature, I take you on a journey beyond the guidebook. Each week, I connect with fellow travelers, insiders, and storytellers to bring you the heart of every place. Whether it's a hidden gem right here in South Africa or a dream destination abroad. Join me as we travel through conversations, memories, and inspiration. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Hanging out with Clement
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
7 minutes before 11 o'clock, we're wrapping up our chat with Siboniso Gaxa, retired soccer player. Ivan sent us a voice note earlier. I wanted to know if you would be interested in maybe mentoring other soccer players. I mean, you are one person who's done the transition well. When you retired, you went and studied, you've graduated, you're still studying now. Are you doing any of that? Is there a plan to mentor some of them? Prepare them for the life after soccer?
Yeah. I mean, thanks to him for that question. I think it's a good question. I am, but I'm doing it informally. You know, I'll just speak to any player that I see and then we can have a chat. But I haven't done it formally. It's not structured as yet. Obviously, it will be structured. I mean, in the near future. And this is something that I'll not do it, not on an individual basis, but have all the players collectively in one space.
Yeah.
We will have a dialogue and a discussion and also try and open spaces where they can then be able to invest collectively, not individually. I think the biggest mistake that we make, we're focusing on individual and the reason for that is that we have not created a space where the players themselves, they can do these things collectively and structurally, you know.
Yeah.
So it's my biggest vision is to create that structure so that players can be comfortable to contribute into something, knowing very well that later on they can then have their returns.
So you graduated at Wits. When did you graduate?
So my BA, which is the first, I graduated around 2019, and then LLB was last year.
It was last year.
2024.
And then now you're going to be busy with your articles.
Correct.
Okay. What do you still want to achieve? What is it that Siboniso Gaxa still wants to achieve?
I think the first, what I've just said regarding structures. I mean, I think the people in the higher position have done an incredible job. Obviously, my impact is to now maybe let things be structured, especially financially, and also post players' careers where they can then go back and say, okay, I've invested in this thing. Collectively as players, then players can be paid back and then do other things, obviously, after football. I don't like this thing of doing things individually because there's Siboniso, there's Bongani Kumalo, but there's also, sorry to mention his name, Lerato Shabangu. You know, we don't want that. We want to do things for everyone so that we structure this thing. Funny enough, while I was at Super Sports, I've attended some sort of like meetings within the rugby space. This is when I learned that these people, they do things collectively. It's not individually. It's not, you know, I want to do my own thing. They do things individually, and these things are contractual. They are part of the whole profession.
Yeah.
You know, you can't come in and then change that. So these are the things I want to implement in the near future. But you can't implement these things if you're not in the structure itself.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I'm going to contest some of these positions one day so that I can then come in and say, okay, can we do things this way to benefit the same people that have literally worked so hard for this sport or for this for our soccer to be where it is
you want
today.
to be part of SAFA at some point.
Yeah, that's the not the ultimate, but that's one of my biggest
goals, because then it'll give birth to that thing you're planning. All right, let's wrap up with these WhatsApp voice notes.
Hi, Clement. Thank you for an excellent guest there. What a player, what a guy. His story is such an inspiration, and he must just keep up the good work and keep at it. A great inspiration for the youth and the current players that are around. As a fellow Durban boy, I always take so much pride when our Durbanites go out there and make things happen. Thanks, man. Ibrahim, Cape Town.
Hi, Clement. I just want to congratulate Siboniso Gaxa. It's so refreshing to see ex-footballers who are not falling into the niche of struggling in life after their careers. And I'd like to urge him to please assist where he can, because he's got the expertise now. I know a lot of people are doing so, but I think there is still a gap for guidance and assistance to our pro footballers in the transition from pro football to the life afterwards. If he is, great, but if he isn't, I'd like to urge him to do so. Thank you.
Thank you for your WhatsApp voice notes. Siboniso, thank you so much, man, for coming through to hang out with us, and all the best with your articles and all the best with your future plans.
No, thanks guys for inviting me. And one thing that I wanted to mention, I just want to thank Jessica Mutaung. She's one of the few people that actually influenced me to go back to school. And she bought me books to read.
Wow.
She's amazing. So I want to thank her for that.
And look at you now. Thank you so much. And yeah, big ups to Jessica Mutaung. It's a minute now before 11.